What if I told you that Bikini Bottom isn't just a silly underwater town filled with talking sponges and dancing jellyfish? What if it's actually the radioactive aftermath of a nuclear war? Yes, a post-apocalyptic wasteland, hiding behind the laughter of Spongebob SquarePants. Stay with me, because once you see the signs, you can't unsee them. Why do the fish wear clothes? Why are there underwater fires? Why does a squirrel need an astronaut suit just to survive? This isn't just cartoon logic. This might be nuclear fallout logic. Let's dive in. Here's where things get real. Bikini Bottom is actually located beneath a real place, Bikini Atoll in the Pacific Ocean. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because Bikini Atoll was the site of some of the most devastating nuclear tests in U.S. history. Between 1946 and 1958, the U.S. dropped 23 nuclear bombs there, including one that was over 1,000 times stronger than the one dropped on Hiroshima. The island was obliterated, and the sea life? Well, that's where our story begins. What happens to marine life after decades of radiation exposure? In the real world, mutations. In SpongeBob's world, you get a talking sponge, a squirrel that builds a biodome, and a crab that raises a whale for a daughter. Weird, right? Let's look at the signs. 1. Underwater fire. There's literally fire underwater in almost every episode. Impossible, unless the laws of physics have been shattered by radiation. 2. Mutated species. A sponge can drive a boat. A starfish with no brain runs a TV. A plankton tries to take over the world with technology. These aren't marine animals. These are post-nuclear survivors, mutated beyond recognition. 3. Squirrel in a space. Sandy Cheeks, a land mammal, needs a pressurized suit to breathe in Bikini Bottom. Why? Because the water is toxic. Maybe not to the mutated sea creatures, but to anything normal. 4. Glowing goo and strange powers. There's glowing jellyfish jelly, green goo, teleportation, and even superhero fish. These aren't just jokes. They're symptoms of genetic instability. Let's talk about Mr. Krabs. He's obsessed with money, but why? In a world where society collapsed, currency would be meaningless, unless he remembers the old world. Could he be one of the few creatures who survived the initial blasts, hoarding pre-war artifacts, rebuilding a society? The Krabby Patty formula, could it be made from non-natural ingredients? What if the secret formula is a lab-created synthetic food used during wartime? And Plankton, his arch-rival, isn't just greedy. He might be trying to restore balance, expose what Krabs is hiding. What if Bikini Bottom is the result of a failed military experiment? Think about it. Radiation-mutated creatures, government-style hierarchy, military fish, secret agencies, surveillance, Karen the computer, floating cameras and episodes, a town built on ruins of the past. The show is a cover-up, a cartoon to hide a tragedy, or to subtly show the world what happens when humans destroy nature.